The American Federation for Children is a national organization that was put together about 15, 20 years ago by Betsy DeVos and her family. It is all about privatizing schools. It is to make money on public schools, and it is to indoctrinate children in their religious belief set.
The DeVos family are also Christian nationalists.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Mary.
Yes, they're Christian nationalists.
But so that is truly, as we think about the things that we have going on right now, right? The things that we're fighting. And the reality is, look, the people that are in this room, we fight, right? You're here because you're active and you're trying to make a difference. And what we have a tendency to do is, we've got a problem over here, right? We've got police that are not, they're overzealous in what they're doing, and we're going to go out and protest and fight against it. And there's going to be those who push back. We're going to take away a woman's right to choose, and we're going to go protest that and fight back against it. We're going to remove voting rights, and we're going to protest it and fight against it. The reality is, the root in all of those things is Christian nationalism. And until we step up and realize that's really what's happening, we're going to continue chasing our tails long enough that they will erode our democracy. And the public schools are absolutely the root of our democracy. This is where we expose kids to ideas that they're not hearing in their homes. Because they have to understand this is a big, diverse society, and they need to learn lots of things. And it ain't just reading, writing, and arithmetic. Not to be successful in today's world. And circling back to book bans, right? If there's books in a public school library that you don't want your child to read, you have every right to go into that library and say, I don't want my kid reading books like that. And you can ban your child from reading books, but you can't ban my kids and your kids from reading books. We've got librarians who are professionals, right? Who have gone to school for years and years and years to know what is appropriate for our schools. What we have seen happen, the TEA model procedure that came out for districts to take, and by the way, Granbury ISD, man, as soon as that sucker came out, they were ready to go to basically remove the ability from our librarians to make decisions about books. And they turned it over to the radical portions of our community, the radical members of our school board, to make sure those books never got into our libraries we went forward. If you haven't read the TEA model policy for library usage, it's freaking scary. It allows the extremes to really control what all of our kids will see, and that's not okay. So, the documentary, right? I'm going to come back to this for just a minute. Deep in the Pockets of Texas. CNN did it. It's an hour long. The YouTube version is 43 minutes because there's no commercials. It is a really great introduction in definitely the what, and it touches a little bit into the why. It touches on Seven Mountains and Dominionism. It's got some folks who explain a little bit of what's going on there, and tie it together. You've got folks in that documentary like Bud Kennedy, columnist from the Star-Telegram, who has seen politics across Texas for decades and talks about how it has changed. Mindy and I show up, sitting in a football field, talking about what we saw going on. Dr. James Whitfield, the principal who got released, negotiated, got run out of Grapevine Colleyville, right? He is a great man, and is featured in that documentary talking about what happened and why. You've got folks like Kel Seliger, a Texas state senator Republican, who was a pretty conservative dude, but wasn't conservative enough, and they have made it a real priority to try and push him out. And Cal was a great supporter of public education. He was conservative in a lot of other places that we didn't really agree, but we could agree on public ed. Well, he's retiring out of the Texas Senate this year, and the gentleman who won the primary, when there's no Democrat in the general, is good friends, best buddies with Tim Dunn. So we know how that vote is going to go in the Texas Senate. So that just makes it even more important as we leave here tonight and we try and run forward on what we're going to do, is we have to support pro-public education candidates all the way up and down the ballot. We have got to make sure we are flipping some of these seats so that we can help And I'm going to throw out this is just Chris's philosophy, this isn't anything broad. But look, as we run forward toward November, the idea, I think part of what happened in 2020, right? We were all jazzed up to turn the house blue, right? To flip it.
Yeah.
We got focused on Trump, focused on, that's a bad guy, and we're gonna flip it the other way. And so there was a lot of moderates, right? People who may have been Republicans who didn't like Trump, and they voted for Joe Biden because he had a much closer margin, but then they voted for Republicans down the ticket, right? I mean, that's what they did. It was, they flipped. So look, here's where I think you should be looking. 18 to 44s who you can connect with to find the issues that matter to them and get them to show up to vote. Because when they do, they won't just vote the top of the ticket. They won't vote just for Beto or just for Mike Collier. They're going to go all the way down the ticket. And that's what we have to have right now if we are truly looking to save this democracy. And I want to save this democracy. Understand they're not just going after federal races, they're not just going after state races, they're also looking at local races.
Right.
School boards, city councils, county commissioners. So even though those we know they're nonpartisan, right? The other side has made those partisan.
Yes.
So we have to be aware of who are the folks running who are not Christian nationalists, right? Christian nationalists have a tendency to make all of their issues, all of the things they talk about, federal type issues, big issues that you have no control over in a school board, on a city council. As soon as you see that, that's a huge red flag. Don't vote for that person, tell others not to. People who are truly dedicated at the local level to doing the right things, they're there to help that community, to actually connect with people in that community and make a difference. Thank you for serving on the school board. You're doing it for the right reasons. So thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to quit yapping and take a few questions because I know